Roger, as well, when you look back at the type of education you had from these guys, I mean, your dad was in the ring with Sugar Ray back in '78, but Sugar Ray was building his incredible career. Roger was a significant champion of great repute in the 80s who took on the legends, Cesar Chavez, Sweet Pea, Pernell Whitaker, Vinny Pazienza. Against you had a lot of information to draw on. They set you high standards.
Well, I chose, I put a lot of pressure on myself. So I chose to go out there as a professional from day one. From day one to say that I'm gonna be seen. I'm the best, and I mean it, I'm the best. So, when I was boxing, I had art. Before I even turned professional, this is what the world don't know. I boxed Pernell Whitaker before. I think I was 17 or 18. I think I was probably 17 years old when I first boxed Pernell Whitaker. And when I boxed Pernell Whitaker, the work was even. And I was only 17 years old. So, but I still didn't stop believing. That still wasn't good enough. So I used to box. The first guy to ever beat Julio Cesar Chavez was Frankie Randall. Julio Cesar Chavez was like 79-0 or 80-0, but the difference between me and Chavez was this. With him being 79-0 or 80-0, I beat more world champions than he has beaten. And of course, I've been in more world championship fights than he has, because when Julio Cesar Chavez first came to the U.S., he was already like 49-0 or 50-0, so we don't even know if that's his real record. But I take my hat out to the guy, Julio Cesar Chavez, because he's one of the guys that paved the way for me to be where I'm at today. He's a true legend, and he can fight his ass off. And like I said before, any fighter, any legendary champion that paved the way for me to be where I'm at, I'm very, very thankful. But when you just really look at the history of boxing, when you just look at the history, you go and we talk about guys like, Ali, we talk about Sugar Ray Leonard, we talk about Roberto Duran, we talk about all these legendary champions. But when we talk about numbers, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. So with that being said, when you look at my numbers compared to those fighters, there's really no comparison. But, guys like Ali, when he lived in of course, a time where racism was crazy. So when he stood up in that era and said, I'm not doing this, I mean, to the black community, to the world, that was, unbelievable at that time.
I read somewhere that you said when you were going through your formative years and deciding on a style of what type of fighter, what type of boxer, you'd say, one day I'd look at Sugar Ray and I'd think, I want to be a bit of that. And then I'd see Marvin Hagler and I'd think, I really love the way he does that. And I love what Tyson did. And what you wanted really, you said, was to take a little bit of Bennett, a bit of Hagler, a bit of Tyson, put them in a bag, shake it up and see what comes out.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of enlightening you guys on what goes through my mind when I'm fighting. I'm gonna stand up and kind of show you guys what goes through my mind when I'm fighting, so I can show you that it's not just fast hands and fast feet. I'm beating these guys mentally. I'm 10 to 6 steps ahead of a guy. While a guy is thinking about round 1, I'm thinking about round 4 or round 5, if it gets to that point. Like, for instance, if I'm facing a guy, I will go to his body with a shot to the body. I walk away, come back, shoot the same shot to the body. I walk to the left, I walk to the right, then I come back, and I make him look me eye to eye. I make him look me eye to eye, so we can catch eye contact. When we catch eye contact, I look at his body and look him back in the eye. For him to think that I'm going to go to his body again, but then I feint like I'm going to his body and sweep him up top. It's just mental games. It's like chess moves. And I fight using chess moves.
When did the shoulder roll? This was the thing. When was it first introduced?
Well, the shoulder roll. Let me kind of explain it. I'm just kind of explain to everybody about the shoulder roll. The shoulder roll is basically you have whatever you, even like the guys that play football. When you guys are playing against a team that's not good, that's when you practice certain things over and over and over again until you master it. So what I did, how I learned the shoulder roll so good was when I used to box guys that wasn't really that good. I used to box guys that was mediocre. I wasn't really worried about hitting them hard or hurting them. I just wanted to practice certain things. So if I practice the shoulder roll 100 times with guys that's not really that good. So once I do get inside that square circle with a guy that is good, it's going to work because I already practiced it 100 times. And 100 times. And once again, they always say practice makes perfect. And so what I do is practice over and over and over again. And what I did, I used to come home every day. At this particular time, before DVDs and before downloading anything, we watched VHS and VHS tapes. So I would come home every day after school. I wouldn't do any homework. I would sign a piece of paper and say, this will be my signature. You know, once I become famous, this will be my signature. Then I'll switch up and say, this will become my signature. After that, I would go upstairs and put in tapes and just watch boxing over and over and over again. Watch boxing over and over again. Then I would go downstairs, pack my bag, and get ready for the gym. And eventually, I was in elementary, went to junior high school, went to high school. My mother was struggling. My dad was in prison. And my family didn't really have too much. And I didn't like that. And I was a man in my house. And real men take care of their families. Real men stand up and take care of their families. I wasn't going to leave my mother out there, with no health insurance, with no lights, struggling. I love my mother. Of course, without her, I wouldn't be here. So what I did was, I left school. I said, fuck it, I'm leaving. I'm gonna roll the dice, take the chance of going to the Olympic Games, take my chance with going to them, with turning professional, because I know school will always be there. But the opportunity like this comes once in a lifetime. So what I did was I rolled the dice. And I still left, even when I first turned professional, I left my mother in the inner city. I would still send her money, but I left her in the inner city because the timing wasn't right. I wanted to make sure when I brought my mother to live with me, she didn't have to work again. So, and now, $800 million later,
Your 18 fights.
She looked like, what the fuck? Yeah, so
as they